We've dipped our toe in the water with tablets. We piloted around 15 BlackBerry playbooks with partners throughout the business. Now overall, that's gone down reasonably well, not probably as successful as we would have hoped for. I think mainly because of some limitations in the playbook devices. But those partners that have taken them have really enjoyed using them and got a lot of value from them. They're using them obviously as extensions of their BlackBerries, but primarily for reading and reviewing and updating documents and sending them back to their secretary. They found real value in that because I think most people would agree that a really small screen is totally unsuitable for looking at documents. So that's really where the value has come. I think there's probably other values come out of it as well. They've enjoyed having the device and using it as a more social tool rather than a business tool. But certainly those people that have found it less helpful have been those that really have come from the iPad world. Those people who've got Apple devices find them intuitive. Obviously the app stores are advanced and have got significant numbers of apps. But the playbook really suffers in that area, as I think most other tablets do at the moment. So it's been a very limited pilot at the moment, but with reasonable success, but limited success, I would say. At the moment, we've paused the deployment of any further devices simply because we're reviewing the market. I mean, in terms of plans for devices, we'll certainly be looking at other devices, but whether they are Apple devices, Android, playbooks, whatever it might be, we've not made a decision on yet. But what we want to be able to do with them is make much better use of them, give them to the solicitors as a device which they can carry with them and really consume data and consume information. At the moment, lawyers do tend to go away and take a laptop with them or a netbook. But most of the time when they're away, they're really just consuming information. So if we can give them information to consume on a tablet, that's certainly a much better form factor for them to carry around. It's much more portable, much more usable, battery life is better. And we can give them apps that they already use on their BlackBerry handheld in perhaps a different form factor. Things like dictation. At the moment, they dictate via their BlackBerry. But it would be much better if they were able to have a document on screen, keep a document open and dictate perhaps the changes to it or amendments and send those back to the secretary. Also, in addition to dictation, we also time record on our BlackBerry handhelds. Now what would be great is on a tablet for a lawyer to be able to not only record their time, but also look at the business intelligence, the KPIs that relate to that client and matter they're working on. Those are two key things that I know our partners and fee earners would really appreciate. But there's so much more. Much of what we do, legal industry, is a document-centric industry. So just the fact that they can view documents, open them and amend them is a massive thing. But I think looking forward, what would be great is if we could look at things perhaps a little bit differently, and rather than giving a client at the end of a matter all of the bundle of documents, the e-Bible, why not give it to them on a device, on a tablet, on an iPad, so you actually present them with their entire document bundle in a single place, rather than thousands of pieces of paper, you give them a tablet instead. I think the legal industry is starting to adopt tablets, but I don't think there's really the demand at the moment for them. Many of the requests that we get are on really a social level or just looking at documents. There's nothing really detailed and in-depth, and there's no true business desire for deploying tablets across a firm. You get pockets of people that will ask for them, but generally it's just that, it's pockets. And as a result, it's very difficult to justify a mass deployment of tablets across any firm. And that is an issue whether or not you're a firm of our size, right up to the magic circle firms of 2,000 or 3,000 people. You're tending to find small numbers of tablet deployments. Risks and security are a big deal in the tablet market. In fact, not just tablets, any portable device, whether it be a handheld or it be a netbook or laptop. And it's a real concern for us. And I know it's a massive concern for many of my peers across the industry. Most of the tablets on the market at the moment are actually pretty limited in terms of security. There are obviously, security tools or back-end systems to support that, but actually, they're not great in many respects. In terms of tablet adoption, there are a number of issues to consider. The risk around devices is certainly one of those. There is obviously the concern about the devices being lost or stolen. Physical security of the devices is one in particular. As examples, we've had a partner who's gone through 1 or 2 devices fairly quickly because they can be easily lost or stolen. They are a target for thieves. Additionally, there's the actual security on board the device. I think many of the devices are inherently not particularly secure. The access methods onto them are fairly simple, whether it be a very simple password or a swipe gesture just to open them up. I think there's a real concern there. Additionally, the information stored on them. The information stored on them then isn't secure. There is no sandboxing, natively, no sandboxing of data on the device, and that is a concern. Now, of course, all of this can be circumvented. We are also looking at using Citrix on them. The Citrix receiver is a great little app, and most law firms tend to use Citrix as a remote access application. The lawyers are familiar with it, they're familiar with using it regardless of which firm they're in, because we all tend to use pretty much the same systems, and Citrix do deliver them when remote's working. In terms of what can be done for us, I think there needs to be a shift in the way manufacturers look at devices. At the moment, we seem to have 2 form factors. We've got the laptop or netbook, and we have the tablet. But I think what we really do need is a cross between them that would actually be useful. And if people are really interested in developing this market further, I think we do need tablets that have got optional keyboards with them that people can take away. The days of the netbook are well and truly dead, and they tend to be very popular with the mobile lawyers, the people who travel an awful lot. And if they're dying out, what's replacing them? Is it going to be the tablet, or is it going to be a tablet stroke, tablet or netbook cross? And I think those would be quite popular. And I'm aware of a few manufacturers making those, but my gut feeling is we'll see more and more of those appear in the next year or 2.